absolutely ferocious defense. Holy shit. This is a battle. I fucking love it. All right, everybody. Today we have a very special one for you guys, kicking off the 18v18 action very strong. This is going to be TL versus 82nd Airborne Division in what is shaping up to be a fantastic Group A. The match is going to be starting very soon, so really quickly, I just want to talk about where these teams are in positioning. So we're looking at Group A. TL, of course, 2-0-1 with 2 wins and an overtime loss. 1 win over OPBHB, and the other win over Core by forfeiture, since Core is backed out of the tournament. 82nd Airborne with the forfeiture win over Core, but losses to OPBHB and Esprit. So, should be a very good matchup today. These teams are going to be fighting over Rue de la Guerre. So, let's start getting into that action a little bit. Of course, TL, they're the boys in blue. They're on the right side of my screen, while 82nd Airborne, they're the guys in red. They're the allies. So, match is live. Of course, start time was at 1:06. Took them a little bit to get back to me on when it would actually be live, so that's why we're starting off a little late here. But getting into the action here, let's kind of get more of an elevated view so we can see where these teams are coming from. Looks like both teams pretty heavily going for the middle of the map. TL does have, a squad way over to the east side. I'm not picking them up on my camera. They are definitely paying attention to that, sending an entire squad in that direction. 82nd Airborne taking a little bit of a wider approach with the similar numbers. So we do see a rocket come in, doesn't get anybody off the bat. TL answers. They have a rocket that barely misses anybody. But very, very measured, very disciplined approach by both teams. Kind of spreading out the love. That rocket has some promise. Doesn't get anybody, though. And we're about to see these teams clash for the mid. Oh, man. Sir Lucky goes down from 82 AD. Really liking the spread from TL. You know, as far as really paying attention to the eastern side of the map. But here comes the clash right in here, though. Let's get in and see what happens. Got our man Kolstad and Dan. Dan goes down, though. Streamer's Curse. Kolstad goes down as well. I need to get away from here. Get away from the Streamer's Curse right away. But TL winning the early gunfights, the early engagements for the point. Seems like they're taking the fight to 82 AD. Now it's time to see these kills turn into real estate. You know, start gaining some ground. And just like that, TL with the capture of the midpoint. Or I guess the point, Rudiger is not the midpoint. But so very strong positioning. You know, they do have four outposts up. Dog Squad's a little bit more conservative, but Baker and Charlie's are right in the action. So it looks like 82 AD had to do some resetting. So let's see what happens here. I mean, how does 82 AD, how do they regroup? Yeah, that's going to be the big thing here. Because it looks like TL kind of... They've definitely won the western flank. They got shooters along this little hedgerow here. They have Timmy Lee pushing up. He's going to be a little bit chaotic. So... Backing up just a little bit. Do have some shooters spread out to the east. Doesn't look like they're really too keen on pushing. My man Taco-tastic, he's getting on the action here. But this field's kind of wide open, so it's going to be tough to get guys across. However, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be TL. And man, they are aggressive. Look at this, pushing up to the glider. Stopping 82nd Airborne kind of in their tracks. Already sending off some nades. You know, this round's only 3.5 minutes old. TL looking like they have the upper hand pretty strongly here. Well, nice OP spawn from 82 AD. Let's see if they can make something happen with this. Although, TL has this field totally surrounded. This is going to be rough. OP, of course, right in the middle of that wheat field. Hobbs, he's pushing. Gets a couple claps. Jimmy Ham. OP goes down, though, but he is dropping some hate on my boy Hobbs. Yeah, this is looking rough for 82 AD. You know, TL's got some shooters. They got Timmy Lee. They got a silly little seal. Half-eaten. You know, they're all pushing up. Like, right in here. They are gaining the edge of the cap sector. Although Charlie's outpost is getting hot. So let's see what's going on over here. You got Sir Lucky, Froggers, and Rip pushing up. Sir Lucky goes down. And that little push from 82 AD just got stopped in its tracks. So pretty interesting opening movement here. So 82nd Airborne, they need a rebound quickly. Looks like they're massing concentration around the radar dish and the trench right next to it across the street. Let's see if they can start making something happen with this. They do, of course, have the squad deep on the eastern side. Although there's a lot of open ground. I mean, they have the hedgerows, but, you know, they're going to have to cross some stuff really to make TL sweat. So... I mean, this is what it is. This is Group A. You know, every team in here is going to be pretty damn good, so let's see if the 82 AD can pull it off. But I got to say, this opening play from TL looks so strong. So taking a look. Charlie's outpost is down. Dog move there is up. Baker's up. So Taco-tastic needs to start thinking about getting an outpost up. Guys are dying around him, so that's going to be tough to do. He does get it up. The point actually flashed for a sec. Interesting. Looks like Jimmy Hammer's coming in here making some noise. Atrocity, though, is on him, though. Atrocity takes him out. Good awareness from our boy there. So, rocket coming in, doesn't get anybody. Oh man, Greg Meister. So if you're 82nd Airborne, I mean the match is, 6.5 minutes old. TL looks like they have a very strong upper hand here. Charlie's outpost is still pretty warm. So they are making some progress on the eastern side, but that seems to be about it. TL very strong in the mid. So if you're 82nd Airborne here, you're just poking for weaknesses. Trying to prod in this front line TL has. Of course, they do have a little bit of progress on the eastern side. TL does have some guys that can answer. But, once you find a hole, you gotta exploit. But, man, these guys are 82 AD. TL, they have some elevation. My man, oh, never mind, he's actually not up in the building. But, TL's kind of spread out here, so they have multiple angles they can engage. Froggers, though, he's trying. Little pocket of resistance right here. Thagotastic takes on J. Neal. Froggers doesn't see him. Froggers goes down. And the nade. Finishes off the bodies there. Yeah, okay. But man, it's going to be tough. I mean, TL, some of the best shooters in the game. One of the top premier, competitive teams out there, making the first foray into 18v18s. At least that I know of. I mean, for all I know, they could have been involved in previous tournaments before. But 82nd Airborne, ooh. Greg Meister just nuked Taco-tastic on that searchlight. I love a rocket, man. Great play. But, 82nd Airborne, they've been here and they've done that. They won the tournament last year. They took, from what Kolstad told me, 3rd or 4th place the year before. So, they should know what to do in this situation. And it looks like my man Rubbed. He's starting to come in here and make some noise. Not sure if Buddy or Half Ian have seen him. And of course, there's an outpost that just spawned in. He's taking some fire, though. Probably has no idea there's that many guys right across the street from him. He is out here shooting, though. Can he make something happen? Is Timmy Lee going to take him out? Oh. He ends up getting naded in return for his troubles. Yeah, if you're 82 AD, I mean, what do you do? Because, like, TL's not trying to grab, like, the front of the objective, but they're taking such strong positioning, covering the open fields. I mean, of course, it's a wheat field, but, covering the terrain that 82nd Airborne has to cross. They have to advance up here to make any kind of pressure. So, I mean, if you're 82nd Airborne, I mean, maybe time to consider strengthening a flank, kind of overloading one side of the map, force TL to respond to that. Because right now they're still fairly disciplined in approach angles. Like, they have a squad, looks like they're coming down by the glider. They have a squad coming down the wheat field. They have a squad coming up this hedgerow in front of Charlie. So, I don't know if that disciplined approach is going to keep, is going to keep them in the fight. But at some point, you got to start changing it up. So, because the match is just over 10 minutes old, and TL looks like they're firmly in control. But I'm not saying 82nd Airborne's out of it. That is the furthest thing from the truth, but I don't want this match to be 30 minutes of someone beating their head off a wall. But I have faith. I think 82 AD can make something happen at least. But my man Chubby absolutely going to town. That's pretty much what you got to do, you know, set up an MG, have him suppress while the rest of the team moves up. Looks like the Axis MG, which is Cafe de Mocha, is trying to answer him right now. He is getting nailed, takes out a guy along the head, on that half wall over there. But so far, somewhat accurate counterfire from Cafe de Mocha over there. And we do see 82nd starting to make their way up the road. Not the most amazing approach in the road, but you don't really have a lot of options. Kolstad goes down. Hobbs taking him out. Oh man, Rubbed making it across the street. Tons of TL dudes pretty much surrounding Rubbed. Similar situation he found himself in before. Hobbs right in front of him. Is he gonna see him? Yeah. It's hard when guys can just bush wookie, but you know, if you're TL, I mean, like they have the positioning. So 82nd has to come to them, not the other way around. So looking around the map a little bit, my man Random made it across the field. Takes out J. Neal. Froggers is onto him though. Oh. Thinks he's further down the hedge than he is. Might hear the footsteps a little bit. Looks like Random starting to take some fire though. It looks like the rest of the squad is starting to answer. They need to do something here. They can't just sit here. My man Random is just holding them up. While I'm stuck on Random, looks like 82 Airborne finally making some... Well... They were making some progress. But... Yeah, if you're TL, I mean, this is... this is so strong. They have guys like... Totally around the glider. You know, some backup shooters behind them. The MG, Cafe de Mocha covering his boys. Baker, of course, holding the mid really strong. Charlie, this eastern flank's been nullified by my man Random. So if you're TL, this is strong. Very strong. Like I said, you can see them just pushing on up. You know, turning kills into real estate. You know, of course, Half Eaten goes down, but you know, I see this like watching 18v18s. Cool. Got some 82nd boys sneaking around over there. Should probably focus on that, but you know, in 18s, in my opinion, like you have to be aggressive. You know, you can't just like take ground and sit on it. Although TL kind of proving the contrary here. They've pushed up to this hedgerow, you know, mostly, and they've held it. Dog, though, being super risky with that outpost. But, you know, if they can get some spawns off, I mean, this is going to be total chaos. And yeah, they have a very strong flank here. They are on the map border, or on the cap border, and they are pushing. This is insane. Yeah, like, check this out. Oh. Oh, dude. I swear, every time I get in on somebody, it's game over. You know, the streamer scares me for whatever reason, so real. But yeah, I mean, a silly little seal gets his guys up here, you know, on this super dangerous outpost. So, I mean, if you're 82nd, you have to prioritize clearing that. You know, 3 TL guys get in there. Cafe de Mocha, Shadow of Death, Half Eaten. I mean, this is primo positioning right here. Yeah, Shadow of Death, he can start camping an outpost. Fingus goes down, Kurt and Rubbed are still up. But man. But speaking of that, TL has that insane positioning over there. The 82 AD is moving up. Like, they are in the wheat field pretty heavy. They've taken this housing compound to the east. So, I mean, 82 AD, they are not going quietly into the good night. So, we do see Coltrane and them, you know, Coltrane and his squad resetting from the garrison, same with a silly little seal. So, even though a silly little seal, I love seeing this. His outpost is still up. But the team is communicating. They know that 82 AD is starting to make some progress. So he's spawning in back here, getting ready for the possibility of having to pull his squad back. That's some next level thinking from a silly little seal. Look at this, 82 AD. They have moved the front line up. You know, they're starting to get some progress. Like I said, they have a little house over on the eastern flank. You start making it happen. You know, pretty good position to start firing from. Looks like TL's picked up on the fact that there are guys over there. Yeah, 82nd, they have moved right up to the point. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, the 3rd TL squad still making some noise over here. That outpost is still up. So, and we are getting some capture progress. Although as soon as I say that, we are no longer. The 82 AD kind of, you know, punishing TL for playing super aggressive there. Outpost is still up. Like, this is just cracking me up. And this little seal, he dies. But expect him to make a similar play, like spawner from the Gary and get ready to reset. But TL though, they are in the strong point in numbers. An entire squad, Baker squad, inside of the strong point. So, of course, TL also Tagotastic, super aggressive squad lead. He's already pushed back up to that building. 82nd Airborne had control of before. Of course, we have a little bit more of a conservative outpost. Just getting his guys in the fight. You know, because now they can push. They can set up. They can use their machine guns to fire, suppress, and then get their guys, you know, fire and maneuver kind of stuff. But still, totally not giving up this eastern flank. That's huge from TL. Although 82nd Airborne in a little bit of trouble. Looks like the outpost just went down. Oh wait, no. Outpost is still up. That little puff of smoke was the outpost. Must have just been a couple nades. But J-Neil, aw. I was about to say, he needed to protect that outpost. But my man from TL not giving him the option of doing so. And the round is about 20 minutes old. So we started an hour and 6. Coming up on the 10 minutes left mark. And 82nd has still not dealt with that outpost. I mean, it's warm. And they just shot the guys off of it. But, you know, this has gone on for way too long. 82nd, they should have, you know, diagnosed this, figured it out, started pushing. And now it looks like they're about to take it out. Timmy Lee and Buddy need to defend this. Or silly little seal needs to set up back behind. And they just cannot... Oh, I was going to say, they just cannot push it and take it out, but... It just doesn't look like 82nd's even, like, caring about it. And it's free now. And they almost nuke it. That rocket came damn close. But, man. Absolutely insane plays. But, I mean, this kind of aggression, like setting up, getting something cheeky like that down, like that's what kind of wins 18v18s. You know, having that squad that's like super aggressive, you know, that can be huge. Because like now, since 82nd hasn't really dealt with this, like this always has to be a concern. You know, because TL, they can shoot guys pushing up the road. Anybody trying to occupy this trench is automatically in danger. Like this western flank from 82nd Airborne, you know, has been nullified because of this outpost. And he's pushing up. Silly little seal. We see him right here. Hasn't reset that outpost. So looks like 82nd Airborne finally moving up to handle this. And in fact, it is gone. So it's a little seal. You see him falling back. You know. Where'd that rocket go? I was gonna say, I don't want to see them like nuke a garrison and lose this match automatically. But yeah, one thing, guys on 18s, you know, I see them not do this a lot. You know, squad leads, outposts, super important. You know, that needs to be prioritized over getting kills. It looks like 82nd really pushing up the mid here. This might be their chance. See, they've dealt with that outpost. Oh, man. Yeah, they've dealt with that outpost. Now they can finally get these guys that were stuck up there into the fight. And TL. Now TL has to respond here. This dog's outpost a little warm. But since now that's dealt with, guys can push up alongside the road. You know, don't really have to worry about that far western flank. But, I mean, we're coming up on the last 6 minutes, so... You know, if 82nd Airborne is going to do something, they got to do it now. But, look at this turtle by TL, though. Like, all these dudes are inside the strong point. This can be so hard to overwhelm. Gotta nade this, gotta rocket this, gotta start just clearing these bodies out quickly. You know, if you're 82nd Airborne, explosives are your friend. Start looping stuff over this barn right here. So. Yeah, look at this. TL2 with machine guns. Shooting up the road. There's somebody in Chubby, though. He's answering. But trying to make crossing the road difficult here. We can see 82nd Airborne making some progress on the west side of the road. The guys that are in the wheat field got wiped. So TL able to kind of hold in the mid. And then if we look over to the eastern side of the map, TL kind of most of this match had supremacy over here. So, oh boy. Do have a little bit of a breakthrough here. So a little Seal and Inferno going down. Rub's the only guy left up though. Shadow of Death takes him out. Damn. So officially 5 minutes left. And TL looks like this is pretty strongly going to them. Ooh, did you see that? Just corpses everywhere. Pretty sure that outpost just got nuked into oblivion. I'm about to say that take out an outpost, that rocket right there. Yeah, for TL, I mean, such a strong showing. I mean, 82nd, you know, you're down to your last 4 minutes. I mean, this has to be all or nothing right here. It just has to be. So let's see if they can pull it off. I mean, oh man. Man, this whole game for TL has been so strong. I mean, just looking at how spread out they are, you know, having one guy cover a lot of ground. You know, because in Hell Let Loose, we've seen this, you know, even in like competitive Hell Let Loose. I actually alluded to this the first matchup I did, TL versus OPBHB. You know, naturally defense has a little bit more like power than offense. Well, I can't say like just sitting in a spot and holding it is like, you know, super powerful, but you know, the aggressive play of setting up at the start, you know, TL getting that outpost, and they've replaced it. Still a little seal doing it once again, but like making this kind of play and then just holding this area is huge. Like pushing up the map, taking key positions, forcing 82nd Airborne to get through you to get to the objective, that's huge. I mean, this entire battle, 82nd Airborne, they've only had like one time when this point was even threatened, you know, with like a contest, and it got wiped out as soon as I brought it up. So for TL, you know, being aggressive, taking strong positions, you know, that's been the absolute name of the game. And I mean, now we're just seeing, you know, guys from 82nd trying their hardest, and TL just totally shutting them down. I mean, we're coming up on the minute and a half mark. Like I said, this match started at 1 hour and 6. But I mean, I don't see this I don't see this result changing anytime soon. But man, yeah, if you're TL, this was strong. I'm pretty sure that outpost just went down. Yep. So yeah, down to a minute left. So I mean, what does this mean for both groups? You know, 82nd Airborne, this should drop the record to 1 and 3. So unfortunately, looks like they're gonna get relegated to Group B. For TL, of course, they're gonna stay right where they are. You know, in Group A, this will push their record up to 3-0 and 1. So I mean, 82nd, you know, I wouldn't hang their heads. You know, they've gone up against some really good teams. You know, Esprit, OPBHB, now TL. So, you know, definitely looking forward to seeing them make some noise in Group B. And of course, TL, I'm looking forward to that rematch against Esprit. That match was so lit. Like, oh man, the overtime loss. That's where TL gets their one overtime loss in the stat column. I'm pretty sure that's game. So these are half-hour rounds. Did start at 1 of 6, so I'm pretty sure that's it. So still some fighting going on. There usually is, like every time every time I watch these, there's like a little bit of clash going on, like after the whistle's over. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out though, because I'm not sure if the teams know that it's over. Like Tagotastic knows it's over. It looks like we're getting some players leaving the lobby. So yeah, Well, let's bring it back to me, I guess. So, yeah, TL. Uh, very, very strong matchup. They, kind of came in and, took 82nd behind the woodshed. Uh, very strong opening. Definitely took ground quickly, converted kills into real estate. Because with 18v18s, you got to manage, momentum. At least in my experience, like I see a lot of teams kind of, take ground and just like sit on it. We did see TL do a little bit of that, but then, we also saw the aggressive plays like Dog Squad, you know, putting their outposts like really heavily on the western flank. Constantly shutting down any advance from the radar dish, down to that trench system just south of the point. Or just south of the radar dish, rather. I mean, the ability to take ground and then own that ground is huge in 18v18s. And, you see it all the time. Map control is paramount. And we saw TL pretty much execute that to a T. That was, in my opinion, a textbook 18v18 from TL side. Let's actually look at the standings real quick. Of course, it says TL's 2-1, 82nd Airborne is 1-2. Those records will now be 3-1 and 1-3. So TL, they'll actually move up to 7 points. Or no, they'll move to 6 points because overtime loss counts as 1. So it's pretty much kind of hockey scoring here if you guys are familiar with NHL hockey. So 82nd, looks like them and Core. Of course, 10th Mountain, we actually technically replaced Core. But 82nd will be moved down to the B League. And, I think they can make a lot of noise there. Really depends on who moves up from C and, who's going to stick to B. But should be very interesting. 82nd Airborne, I imagine that they wanted to do better, but, it is what it is. Don't hang your heads. But, so that pretty much wraps it up for Group A. We have plenty of matchups from Groups B and C. As you can see, Group C is in a 2-1 landlock right now, with 2 matchups going on today. So, in fact, let me look and see who's all actually fighting today. So, pretty much starting in about a half hour, we'll have 79th ID versus Paradox. As you can see, that matchup's pretty big. Paradox can go 3-0 with a win. 79th Infantry Division can go 3-1 with a win. And then at 2:15, we have Lost Legion versus 1AD. So if Lost Legion wins that, which you can see they're number 9 in the B group. If Lost Legion wins that, they're gonna force a 3-way 2-2 tie. Which Abanus actually went ahead and made like a little picture with like all the possible outcomes, depending on who wins and does what. So if you want to know all that, join the 18v18 Discord. You'll be able to find that in Chatter, I believe. And also for Group C, you're going to have 20th Panzer Grenadiers versus Barbed Wire Collectors Club. So the number 11 seed and the number 14 seed down in Group C. So that matchup's huge. Both teams coming in at 2-1. And then at 4 p.m., you have LTU, which I believe they're Lithuanian, going up against Merc. So, 2 teams are going to walk out of that 3-1. Two teams that are going to walk out of that 2-2. I mean, unless there's overtime losses, then that might make some stuff happen. As Abinis actually stated one time, winning might not lead to promotion, but overtime losses might make sure you don't get relegated to Group D. So, anyways, yeah, TL though coming in, flexing some muscle, showing the 18v18s that they mean business. Of course, the only team that has defeated them so far is Esprit de Corps. So once again, looking very forward to a matchup between these two teams once again. It seems like both of them pretty much understand what 18s are all about. So I wonder if that's what the championship's going to look like. I don't know, but putting in my way too early predictions. So, I mean, if you're 82nd Airborne, it's tough. So, you guys, I did see a lot of good stuff in that match. You guys did kind of maximize some pushes there. Really try to, do your best with momentum. So, ultimately, you come up short, and it is what it is. So, don't hang your heads too long. You guys got some pretty good matches coming up in Group B in Stage 2, I believe, the second stage. So, yeah. That pretty much wraps it up for me. So, I thank everybody who tuned in. Of course, there's going to be some more 18v18 stuff happening in the near future. Of course, I just got my guys involved in the tournament, my guys in 10th Mountain. Really looking forward to see how we do. I know we're going to be joining Group C in the next stage. So, should be a damn good time. So, if you guys like what you saw, feel free to give me a like. Subscribe if you want. I'm not going to push for those. But those who have so far, thank you very much. And also, in my time in casting, I've had a lot of great time, rubbing elbows with a lot of the Hell Loose community. A lot of you guys have been great. So I thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll have some more of these in the future. So, if you want to get in on that, definitely give me a follow because we're going to have a lot of streaming and casting and stuff coming up. So, anyways, I've been Colonel Matthews from the 10th Mountain Division, and I will see you guys next time.